it's a win-win situation, right? I get to talk about books that I'm excited about. You get to figure out and find out new books that can be added to your TBR as well. As if your TBR is not like a million miles long. I'm just doing the world a favor. Okay, guys? Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Madhu, aka your chaotic book mom. I thought it would be a fun video to talk about all things 2026 releases, what I'm excited about, what I already have on my arcs list, and all the sequels that I'm really anticipating. So yeah, today's video, Bookmas day number, I don't even know anymore. Okay guys, so this Bookmas video, we are going to be talking about all things 2026 related. Now at this point, okay guys, I am still working on my 2026 bullet journal. So I don't know when I'll upload this video or the bullet journal video. If I'm done with my bullet journal, I'll show you guys in this video. If not, that would be getting a separate flick through or walk through all my whole process of creating my 2026 bullet journal. So I wanted to finish this video first and get this out into the universe. This video is going to be categorized into 3 different categories. Okay guys, the first one is all the sequels that I'm really excited to read. Okay, I read a couple of new releases, the first book in a series in 2025, and I'm really looking forward to the next book in those series in 2026. The second category would be all the arcs that I already accumulated over the course of the past couple of months, all the 2026 arcs. So we are going to be talking about why I requested them, why I'm excited to read them. Okay, and the last category is all books, either debut books or the first book in the series or anything coming out in 2026 or even 2025 whose sequels are coming out in 2026, but I'm really excited or have my eyes on the first book in a series. We are going to be talking about those in the third category. Okay, I have my laptop in front of me so that it will be easy for me to look at all the releases, tell you guys all the blurb. What I've realized over the past 2 videos is whenever I read the blurb out loud, okay, I'm excited for all the book releases. Okay guys, so when I read the blurb out loud, I don't want to cut that out of the video. But the thing is, the videos are like 1 hour long, which I know, I'm sure you guys don't have the time to sit and watch 1 hour long videos. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to tell you guys a very short snippet of what the book is about, give you guys the book cover as usual, and I'll insert the blurb. I'll take screenshots of the blurb and I'll just insert it over my face. Okay, you can pause the video, read if you want to know more about the book. Otherwise we'll just skip. We'll just give an overview and then we'll move forward with the other books in this video. Coming to the first category, okay, all the series sequels that I'm absolutely excited to read about. Number 1 would be The Knave and the Moon, which is the second book in the Stonewater series. The first book was The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick, and you guys are not ready for me to obsess over this book. Okay guys, I absolutely fell in love with the gargoyle Bartholomew. I do not want anything bad happening to Bartholomew in the sequel, and the sequel is coming out September 1st. For now, we don't know. All the new releases dates, they're all tentative. Okay guys, so the release date for The Knave and the Moon is 1st September. That is book number 1 that I'm really excited to read about. The second book is the 5th book in the this Woven Kingdom series by Tahara Mafi. If you already know, I read every Spiral of Fate, the 4th book in the series last month, and I have no words. Okay guys, we do not have a title, but we do have a release date which is saying it is September 1st, but we are not sure anymore. So we are still expecting a title and a proper definite release date. But I am so excited for the 5th book in this Woven Kingdom series, which will conclude the entire series. Okay guys, so you guys, my joy knows no bounds, okay, for this one. The third sequel I am really excited to read about is for a book I recently finished. Okay, I recently finished A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena, and guys, at this point I've already filmed all of my 2025 favorites. Okay, and after I filmed that video, I've gotten 2 more yearly favorites. I have to refilm the whole thing now, and I'm stressing about that. What I'm trying to say is, A Dance of Lies was so addictive. I fell in love with everything, the forbidden aspect of it, the spy, everything. Okay, the sequel to that book, I think it is a duology, and the second book in the series, To Dance with Death. It is coming out on 4th August, which I cannot wait, guys. I cannot wait for the second book in this series. I'm so excited. The fourth book I'm really excited for is the sequel to A Language of Dragons, which is a war of wyverns by S.F. Williamson. Oh my god. A Language of Dragons, I did not expect to love that book so much, okay? It was a very simple YA fantasy series with dragons. It does feel a little bit like a dystopia, but it is a very good immersive read. It's very simple, so if you are new to this genre, you would absolutely gobble this book up. And the sequel to that series, A War of Wyverns, is coming out on Jan 6th, which is next month, and I'm so excited to read the next book in that series. Okay, guys, all these release dates are all over the place. Okay, I'm not doing this in any order of months or anything. I'm just listing all the books in the order of how it appears on my screen. Okay, guys, so the release dates are all over the place, but be assured I'm excited for all of them. Okay, the next sequel is Bloodsinger by Juliet Cross. I recently read Firebird by Juliet Cross. I didn't realize it was going to be like a kind of interconnected standalones inside a continuous plotline kind of a series, but I'm so excited for the couple we are going to be getting in Bloodsinger. Okay, we have cameos from the main characters in the first book, and needless to say, I love these two characters more. Take the plot forward in this book. So, The Black Singer by Juliet Cross is coming out on April 7th, which I'm really excited about. The next book is Deathless by Julie Kagawa. This is the second book in a series. I read Fateless, I think, in September or October. Okay, so I really like. There was a magical, fantastical creature in that book, which I got really interested in, and I went down the rabbit hole of researching on Google. And you know what, guys? I'm sold. Okay, I love anything magical or fantastical animals in any fantasy book. So I'm really excited to see how they are going to be, presented in the second book. And I really want to know what happens to Wraith and all the characters that are involved in this book. So yeah, even though my excitement is not like at the top level, I'm still excited to read the sequel for Fateless, which is Deathless by Julie Kavawa, coming out on July 7th. Now this book, I have been looking forward to this book's release for a very long time. Okay, the book is Espiritu. I don't know if that is how you pronounce it, by Aidan Thomas. I loved The Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. This is the second book in that series. God, oh my god, I've been looking forward to this book for a very long time to be available for me. Okay guys, so this book is coming out on September 8th, 2026, and my joy knows no bounds. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm like feeling giddy looking at this cover. Okay guys, it looks so beautiful. Now the next book this is the third book in an interconnected standalone series, which is called Disenchanted by Lucy Jane Wood. I absolutely loved Bewitched and Uncharmed. I read both of them a couple of months ago when Uncharmed released, and it was so cozy. I loved all the characters and all the kind of tropes that was introduced in that. It felt like a warm hug. That's what it felt like. So I'm so excited for Disenchanted. It is coming out on September 10th. Now, another sequel I am so excited to read. This is the confirmed duology. This is the second book, The Thorn Queen by Sasha Payton Smith. If you know, I loved A Rose Bargain. Okay, guys, it was different. It was fast-paced. It was so easy to read, and it did give me a cliffhanger that made me want to pick up the next book immediately. Okay, guys, so I am so excited for The Thorn Queen. I don't know how everything is going to get resolved in that book. This book is coming out on April 14th. Okay, guys, so you guys also be ready. Okay, if you have not read The Rose Bargain, go read that book as well. Now, I don't know if it is like considered a series, but this is listed as the second book in the Say You Will Remember Me series. The book I'm talking about is The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I read Say You'll Remember Me a couple of months back when it released. I really loved the difficult topics the books dealt with. It felt somehow real, and I was able to relate to a lot of things that happened in that book. And the sequel, it obviously follows different main characters, but I'm really excited to see where this story is going to go. Okay, this book, The Night We Met, is coming out on March 31st, and would you look at the cover? Okay, it looks like a sunset came to life. Okay, I think it is going to feel very warm. It is going to break your heart and heal it at the same time. So I am absolutely excited to read The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I really love her writing style now. Say You'll Remember Me is the first book I read by this author, and I'm really excited to pick up all the backlog books that the author has right now. And the next sequel I am absolutely excited about is the second book in the Sword Heart series. I read T. Kingfisher for the first time when I read Sword Heart, and the amount of humor, the banter, the fun-filled serious situations that the author had managed to put inside that book, it was unmatched. Okay, the audiobook was even better. So the second book, Daggerbound by T. Kingfisher, it is coming out on August 25th, and there are more than one T. Kingfisher books in this 2026 release list, and you guys are not ready for me to obsess over the author and their books right now. Okay, guys, so this is the second book in the Sword Heart series, and I'm so excited for that book. Now, the last book we are going to be talking for this series category is Ruinous Ends by Ivy Mary. You guys, if you guys know me, you know I loved Immortal Consequences by Ivy Mary. It is a dark academia book set in the afterlife, and it follows 6 students who compete together to go to the other side to become a winner or join the professors in that academy. So basically, since everything went downhill towards the end of the first book, I cannot wait for the second book's release. Okay, guys, I really want to know what actually happens, and I want to know more about Olivier and Emilio. Like, they are my absolute favorite. Okay, Ren and August, like, I want to know what happened to all my babies. That's all I care about, and I want to know if they are safe or not. Okay, guys, so I think I've covered all the sequels that I'm pretty excited to read in 2026. I do have a lot of first books in the series that I haven't gotten to, that was released in 2025, whose sequels are coming in 2026 that I will pick up, but they are not considered a sequel release that I'm excited about, right? I still haven't picked the first book up. We have Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. We have Diabound by Sable Sorensen. We have Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. We have Rose in Chains. Like, there are a lot of 2025 releases I will be picking up in 2026, and I will also be reading the sequels for all those series as well. But I'm not including all the first book in the series or the sequels because I haven't read the first book yet. So for this series, the third book in the series is getting released in 2026, but I haven't gotten to the second book yet. I will be reading the second book and then the third book. The series I'm talking about is the Bloodwing Academy series. The second book is The Bond That Burns. The one getting released in 2026 is the Wings That Bind. I really loved On Wings of Blood, which was the first book in the series, and I am so excited for what is going to happen in the second book after that mess that was the ending of the first book. So needless to say, I am really excited to see the chaos and the madness that is going to ensue after the end of book 1. I know I really liked the first book, but I am so excited to know what is going to happen in the sequel. Okay, guys, I'm talking about the second book in the Unearthly Delights series. The first book was Savage Blooms by S.T. Gibson, and the second book, Tangled Roots, is going to come out in October 13. October 13. It is coming out on October 13. We do not have a book cover yet. We only have the title reveal, but God, I cannot wait to see what is going to happen to Adam now, and what happens to all 4 main characters that we have, the mayhem and all kinds of shenanigans. So that is one more book that I'm absolutely excited to see. I think I'm excited to read the sequel more than the first book. I liked the first book, okay, but I have a feeling I would love the second book. So that's all I'm going to say. It is a gothic erotic romance, which, don't ask me, I gobbled it up. That's all I'm going to say. I think we have covered all the sequels that I'm excited for. In 2026, we have around 14, 15 books. So, yeah, I don't think I missed anything. But if I did, then I'm not going to care about it anymore. Okay, I tried so hard to make a compilation, but it happens. Guys, if I make a mistake and leave out books that I'm really excited for, then it's okay. I'll just read it anyways. Okay. Let's get into the category of books that I already have as arts and some of my 5-star predictions in that category. Let's go. I have the tabs listed in publication order. I spent 10 minutes doing this. Okay, guys, be proud of me. We are going to give a twist for this category. I am going to be talking about all my 5-star predictions only. Okay, now the first book is Above in Vengeance by Jacelyn Rodriguez. Now, this is coming out on January 13th and it has deadly tarot card magic and wicked schemes, dangerous alliances, and it's a survival of the fittest kind of a story. This is first book in this series. Okay, I am so excited. The blurb, I'll insert the blurb here and wait for you guys. Did you read the blurb? Okay. Tell me you're not excited for this book as I am. Okay, this is one of my 5-star predictions and I cannot wait. Okay, the cover is absolutely gorgeous and I am going to be reading January arcs in a separate video in kind of a reading vlog. So this book is going to grace that video. So if you want to know more about this book, be excited. Okay, be ready for the upcoming reading vlog. Now, the second book I have is Graceless Heart by Isabel Ibanez. Now, this cover, I'm going to be very honest, I am excited for this book just because of this cover and the fact, okay, it has a lush, atmospheric and achingly magical standalone adult fantasy romance set in the Renaissance Italy. That's all. That's why I was excited for this book and that's why I feel like this is going to be a 5-star. It apparently has a lot of yearning and a lot of beautiful lush writing and obviously it is set in Renaissance Italy. You cannot go wrong with that kind of a fantastical setting. So enemies to lovers, slow burn, magic versus religion and political intrigue. I'll insert the blurb for you guys now. Tell me you are not excited, okay? Especially because this is a standalone adult fantasy. I am doubly excited because you read this book and it is dusted, okay? So, and look at the gorgeous cover. Guys, you cannot say no to a book cover like this. Okay. Book number 3 is If All the Stars Go Dark by S.G. Prince. Now, this is a sci-fi queer fantastical romance and it says an intergalactic enemies to lovers romance where tensions are high but the stakes are higher. This is a YA sci-fi queer romance and since I am just dipping my toes into the sci-fi genre, I want to start, from the basics. I do plan to read more sci-fi in the future, but I think this is going to be I would love this kind of a setting in a sci-fi. So I am really excited to read this book. I will insert the blurb for you guys here. And I absolutely love the cover as well. It looks like it does have like a cartoonish vibe to it, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. So I feel like this 4th book is going to be a 5-star read for me just for the cozy vibes. Okay, now this book is How to Lose a Goblin in 10 Days by Jessie Silva. Look at the cover. You guys, this cover looks absolutely gorgeous. This book is coming out on January 20th and it says, is a comfort read fantasy romance between a halfling and a goblin. Imagine a classic opposites attract rom-com taking place in a cozy fantasy setting. Expect romantasy, magical forest, interfering wizards, lots of home cooking and maybe even a kiss at the harvest dance. This feels like a warm cup of beverage on a cold winter night. Like that is the kind of vibe and feeling this book and this blurb is giving me. I'll insert the blurb here. Tell me you guys are not excited for this book, okay? The cover, if you look closely at it, it kind of reminds me of The Hobbit and the door and everything and the foliage and everything. Okay, now the 5th book I am super excited about is A Dance with Death by Amanda Linsmeyer. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce their name, so it is going to be Linsmeyer. Okay, this book is coming out on January 27th. It says, okay, hauntingly beautiful with a lush prose and a vividly creepy atmosphere, it transmits just a compulsory juicy read that will wind its way into your psyche. Part horror, part magic. If this is the gothic love story you didn't know you were missing. If you guys already know, I've somehow fallen into the rabbit hole of reading gothic mystery romance kind of a genre, and ever since I read Grave Matter, I've been looking for books with the similar vibes, and this stood out to me because it says part magic and part horror. Like nothing can go wrong with that kind of a genre combination. Okay, guys, I'll give you guys the blurb now. You see this cover? You see this blurb? Tell me you guys are not excited. Okay, I am so excited. This is going to be a 5-star. Okay, book number 6. Guys, this was solely because of the book cover. Okay, guys, do not judge me. Don't tell me you do not judge a book by its cover. Okay, I judged the book by its cover, and I feel like I can safely judge the story as well for this book. The book I'm talking about is The Sun and the Star Maker by Rachel Griffin. This book is coming out on February 17th. Just look at this gorgeous cover. It kind of feels magical, whimsical, and everything heartwarming and fantastical. Okay, so it says, there was once a village so far north that most considered it top of the world. In that village, the sun fell in love with her star maker. From the New York Times bestseller, The Nature of Witches, comes a whimsical and sweeping romantic fantasy. And just because of the setting, the blurb, I'll give you guys the blurb now. Just for this blurb alone, I am going to predict that this book is going to be a 5-star read for me. This next book has so much attention, okay, on the social media FYP page that I have right now. The proof copies look absolutely gorgeous. Got happy because I was approved for the ARC copy for this book, Agnes Albert's Mystical Cat Shelter. This sounds like the coziest of the cozy fantasy read you can ever have. Okay, this book is by the author is Heather Fawcett, and it is coming out on February 17th. And it says, okay, it's a healing and heartwarming fantasy with magic shops, rescue cats, and second chance at love. There are magical cats in a book. Sold. I would be reading that book, and I would be rating it far higher than I would have if there were no magical cats involved. Okay, guys, look at the cover. It looks so gorgeous, and the ARC proof copy cover also looks stunning. I'll give you guys the blurb now. This book and this cover feels like a warm hug. Okay, guys, that's all I'm going to say. Obviously, a 5-star prediction for me. Now, this next book, it is a retelling of Hansel and Gretel. Okay, I have never read a retelling of that particular classic tale, Hansel and Gretel, before. This is The Witch of the Shadow Wood by Tori Ann Martin, and the cover, it feels in with the forest and in with the nature. Cover absolutely aligns with the kind of story, the retelling that this story is going to be. It is a feminist, cozy, romantasy retelling of the classic fairy tale Hansel and Gretel, complete with a sapphic love story, a revenge tale from Tori Ann Martin, perfect for the fans of The Spell Shop. It sounds so cozy. It is a sapphic retelling as well, so it is going to be amazing. Okay, guys, this is going to be amazing. That's all I'm going to say. I'll give you guys the blurb right here. I know the next book I'm going to be talking about is slightly out of my usual reading genre, but it is The Memory Bookshop by Song Yu Jeong. Obviously, if it has anything like a bookshop on the title or a cover, I am going to be picking that book up. It says, for the lover of the Midnight Library, which is on my 2026 TBR, and Days at the Murasaki Bookshop, which I absolutely love. Discover a spellbinding novel about a mysterious bookshop that exists outside of time and space. Sold. Absolutely sold. Where the past is only a page away. Okay, it is about a story about the power of books to carry us home. Tell me, as a book lover, you are not intrigued. You are not, okay, you do not want to read this book. I dare you. Now, this is the blurb for this book, and the cover, it looks something out of a magazine. Okay, it looks like a sunset came to life. This is the kind of book cover that is going to make you fall in love with the story before you even read the story. That's all I'm going to say. Obviously, you cannot talk about 2026 without talking about one of my most anticipated releases from one of my favorite authors ever. You Did Nothing Wrong by C.G. Drews. Guys, if you know, I don't know if my 2025 favorites went up already or not, but Hazelton absolutely destroyed me emotionally and altered my brain chemistry. Okay, so obviously I'll have to pick up the next book by the author. You Did Nothing Wrong. Okay, it is coming out on March 17th. It says domestic suspense meets haunted house horror in this adult debut from the author. Don't Let the Forest In and Hazelton. Both Hazelton and Don't Let the Forest In were YA. This is the adult debut, and obviously, I am going to gobble this book right up. And obviously, it is going to be a 5-star for me because anything the author writes is going to become a 5-star read for me. That's it. Okay, guys. So I'll give you guys the blurb here, and just look at the cover. It looks gorgeous. Okay, it kind of combines the plant body rot horror kind of a vibe with the perfect psychological thriller kind of a book cover vibe perfectly. Like, look at the house and look at the hands. Like, that is the kind of vibe we are going for, and I am absolutely excited for this book. Okay, guys. Now it suddenly started raining out of nowhere, and we are losing light. So I just switched on my study lamp. Now the next book, I am so ashamed to say, I obviously judged the book cover before I could ever read the blurb for that book. The book I'm talking about is Aisha by Soraya Bowsy. I am so sorry if I am butchering your name, but I'll obviously insert the book cover. This book is coming out on March 24th, and just look at the book cover. Guys, tell me this is not an absolutely gorgeously beautiful cover. Tell me, I dare you. Okay, it says Temptress Monster Warrior, the ultimate female rage fantasy. We love a female rage fantasy books. Okay, Aisha is a fierce and devastatingly powerful romantic epic fantasy, perfect for the fans of the Prairie of the Orange Tree, and she too became the sun. That's all. Guys, I am so excited to read this book. Now the thing is, I don't want to read months before the book's release. Okay, I have plans to read new release books maybe a month or so before, so that I can create buzz around the release date. This book is coming out on March 24th. I will insert the blurb for you guys here. And I'm telling you guys, this book cover is going to heavily influence my reading experience and my rating. Okay, that's all. Okay, the next book is The Tricky Business of Fairy Bargains by Rena McCarthy. This sounds absolutely amazing. The cover looks absolutely gorgeous. This book is coming out on April 7th, and it says, okay, discover a world of enchanted contracts, fairy intrigue, and French toast in this delightful debut packed full of wit, charm, adventure, and heart, with a dash of magical bureaucracy and a sprinkling of romance. Everything that is listed in this line, I am excited about. You guys, that's all. Okay, I love the blurb, I love the cover, and I am so excited for the release of this book. Okay, it is coming out on April 7th. I'll insert the blurb for you guys here. And just look at the cover. Okay, there's the parchment paper, the foliage, the sword, the pen, everything. I love this cover so much. Okay, guys, I think we have come to the last book on my arts list. Yes. Now this book is Our Rogue Fates by Sarah Glenn Marsh. This is coming out on April 26th, 2026. It is enemies to lovers, romantic fantasy, perfect for the fans of Tusk Love, and it crackles with tension and heats. Okay, on the hunt for hidden treasure, two former best friends turned adversaries must put the past behind them if they hope to make it home. Okay, I read Reforged by Seth Harden recently, and this is the kind of vibe I'm getting from this book, and that's why I feel like this book is going to be a 5-star prediction for me. Okay, I kind of really like some kind of history between our two main characters when it comes to queer retellings or queer fantasies. I really love the style and the kind of cover this book has. It feels like it is going to be high stakes, but it is also going to be emotional as well. So we have finally arrived to the end of the second category, which is all the arcs that I currently have that are going to be 5-star predictions for me. Okay guys, welcome to the third category, that is all the books coming out in 2026 that are either on my radar because I've read the authors' works before and I absolutely love them, or because the premise sounds so good that if I read that book, I would absolutely fall in love with them. Okay, there is no reason to why I've added these books to my 5-star predictions for 2026 because it just is. Okay, I have a vibe, I have a feeling about all these books. Even though I am very stingy with my 5 stars, these books are all on my predicted list because you need to have a pool before you find the gems. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, I do have 24 books on this list. I'm going to be very quick about all these books. I'll give you the name, the author, the release date, and I'll tell you guys why I picked this book up for this list. Okay guys, let's go. The first book is The Swan's Daughter by Roshni Chokshi. This book is coming out on January 6th. I have read the author's works before and I love them so much. Okay, so this book has been added to my list. This says it is a lush and a romantic novel. The prince is only as good as his beating heart and a maiden is only as good as her honest word. Which sounds absolutely amazing. I feel like the writing style is going to be very lush, very beautiful. So this is going on my list. The second book is The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. This book is coming out on January 20th. Now, I know nothing about this author, but I saw Jamie read this book and she told me that it was a 5-star read. Okay, so I'm trusting her opinion and I feel like I would love this story. So I'm adding this book to this list. Now the third book on this list is Fruit of the Flesh by Ivy Ophelia. This is coming out on January 20th as well. This is a marriage of convenience between an artisan and a ballerina mask their shared appetite for revenge in this darkly seductive gothic romance, which sounds absolutely amazing. The cover looks absolutely stunning. So I have added it to my list because it says it's a gothic romance. You know, I'm on my gothic romance reading era right now, so obviously it has to make this list. Now, the fourth book on this list is A Practical Guide to Dating a Demon by Hannah Reynolds. This is coming out on February 3rd. Now, this says a student finds herself accidentally betrothed to a demon and investigating his connection to the magical irregularities plaguing her city in his cozy, whimsical YA romantasy. Obviously, this sounds like something I would absolutely enjoy, so I am adding this to my reads of 2026. Now, the fifth book is The Astral Library by Kate Quinn. This book is coming out on February 17th, and it says a gorgeously written fantastical adventure which poses the question, have you ever wished you could live inside a book? Always. Okay, and that's why this book is going on my list. Okay guys, nothing else. Just for this line alone, this book is going on my list. Okay, now the sixth book on this list is Daughter of Crows by Mark Lawrence. This is the first book in the Kindness Academy series. This is coming out on March 24th. It says, the survivor of a brutal academy must exhume her own past in the first book in a new series from the author of the Library trilogy, etc. Set a thief to catch a thief. Set a monster to punish monsters. What else do you need? I am delving into more of a high fantasy era right now in 2026. So this feels like it would be a great introduction or a great read for me. So I am adding this book and I absolutely love this cover. It looks regal, it looks mysterious, and it looks beautiful. So now the seventh book for this list is Wolfworm by T. Kingfisher. Obviously, it is a T. Kingfisher book. I am obviously going to add any of their works from now on to my anticipated 5-star reads. So it says something darker than devil stalks the North Carolina woods, a new gothic masterpiece from T. Kingfisher. Obviously, it is a gothic masterpiece. I have to add this book to my list now. The cover is a gorgeousness. Now, the eighth book in this list is We Become Darkness by Grace Morrow. This is coming out on April 7th. It says, a human and a vampire forge an unsteady alliance in this marriage of convenience, romantic fantasy perfect for the fans of Serpent and the Wings of Night and One Dark Window. I love both the authors. Okay, I read Six Scotch Roses by Carissa Broadbent and I love the One Dark Window duology. So obviously I have to read this book now. It's an atmospheric romantasy. and it is for the fans of Nosferatu to sink their teeth into. I am going to sink my teeth into this book, and I added this book especially because I wanted to satisfy my younger werewolf vampire addicted self. So yeah. So the ninth book is Stay for a Spell by Amy Combe. This is coming out on April 14th. It is a cursed princess must discover what her heart truly longs for in this charmingly cozy romantic fantasy for everyone who's ever lost or found themselves in a bookshop. Do we need to say anything else about this book? A lover of bookshop, that is me. So obviously I'm going to read this book. Just look at this cover. It gets added to this list just for this cover. Now the 10th book in this list is West of Wicked. This is the first book in the Great and Terrible Land by Nikki St. Crow. Okay, this book is coming out on April 14th. It is a dark, sexy, twisted reimagining of The Wizard of Oz from this author. Okay, I've never read a retelling for The Wizard of Oz, so I am doubly excited for this book, and the cover looks absolutely gorgeous. Like, look at her hair. Like, her hair demands the extra attention. Okay, so this book is getting added to this list because just for the cover and because it is a retelling of The Wizard of the Oz. Now the 11th book is The Girl with a Thousand Faces by Sunyi Dean. It says a gothic tale, obviously, set in the historical Hong Kong that meshes ancient myths and local legends into a haunting story of ghosts, grief, and a woman who will not forgive. Obviously, just with this pitch, you know why I added this book to this list. Hey, you should know me by this point. Just look at the cover, and obviously it is a gothic tale. It is set in historical Hong Kong, and it sounds absolutely delicious and delectable, so I'm adding this book to the list. The 12th book is Deathbringer by Sonia Tagliarini. This is the first book in the Deathbringer series. This is coming out on May 12th. It says a dark academia romantasy steeped in necromancy, forbidden love, and a twisty murder mystery set within the perilous halls of a magical institute as a death mage who hates her magic and a poison mage who hates her are forced to work together to stop a killer before one of them is next. Obviously, you guys know why I added this book to this list. The cover. That's all. Okay, that's all. Book number 13, Seek the Traitor's Son by Veronica Roth. I love this author, so I'm obviously going to add the next book by the author to this series. It says, a new epic romantic dystopian fantasy begins in Seek the Traitor's Son by the best-selling author Veronica Roth. Okay, LG Han did not ask for destiny to find her. LG intends to make sure it's her. So this sounds absolutely amazing. It is a dystopian fantasy romance, which I really am interested in that genre right now. So this gets added to this list. Now book number 14, The Heart of the Naga by Yong Do Lee, and the translator is Anton He. This is the first book in this series. This is coming out on June 2nd. Okay, so this is an epic classic series, The Bird That Drinks Tears, the master of Korean fantasy. Lee Yong-do has created a tale of castles built on the backs of a flying mantas, giant birdman, heartless immortals, and a quest that will change the very nature of the world and its gods. Available for the first time in English. It has everything. Fantastical creatures, giant birdmen, heartless immortals. What else do you need from an epic fantasy? And look at the cover. I don't know the style of this book cover. I'm very interested in how this looks. It is very different, it is unique, and it's grabbing my attention. Book number 15 is The Heirs by Farida Abike Iyimide. I really loved Ace of Spades by this author, so I'm obviously adding The Heirs to this list. It says 5 teen geniuses, their billionaire father, and investigation into his murder. Perfect fans of Inheritance Games, The Residents, and Holly Jackson. Obviously, Inheritance Games is on my 2026 must-read list. I really want to read The Heirs. I really like the simplicity of this cover as well. So I think I will like the writing style and the story as well, because I've read the author's work before and I really loved it. Book number 16. Now this book, I've been looking forward to the release of this book ever since the author decided to unveil the title of it, because I have followed this author for a very long time. So the book is Their Will Undone by R.J. Valdeperas, and I am so excited for the author. Okay, I have followed her journey of writing this book, querying for this book, getting an agent, getting a deal, and finally unveiling the cover, the title, and everything. Okay. Just for that reason alone, I'm going to add this book to this list. It is a YA debut fantasy. When a maiden is selected to marry the emperor, her journey to the palace will see her fighting both a spark of magical power and her growing feelings for her broody escort in this romantic fantasy duology inspired by a true story from the Inca Empire. I am so excited for this book. The cover is absolutely stunning. So that's all. That's why I'm excited for this book. Now, book number 17, The Secret World of Friar Rose by Cindy Pham. It is expected to be released on June 2nd. It is a lush, immersive, queer, sleeping beauty retelling about escapism, grief, and dreaming of a better world as imagined by our Cindy Pham. I've followed Cindy's YouTube channel for a very long time. I love her snarky, sarcastic comments on all the books that she has ever read, and when I read that she's coming out with a book, obviously I have to add it to my 2026 reading list. If you are not following Cindy, you have to, because she is amazing. She is hilarious, and this cover is absolutely stunning. And the blurb, guys, the blurb, you are not ready for this book, okay? Yeah, that's all. That's why I'm excited for this book. Now, book number 18 is A Prince Among Pirates by Katie Abdo. It is coming out on June 16th. It's a charming nobleman accidentally joins a pirate ship and falls for its debonair captain in this swashbuckling queer debut that is perfect for the fans of F.T. Lukens and Our Flag Means Death. I love both the book and the author, so obviously I'm going to add this book to my 2026 anticipated 5-star reads. The cover is so fantastical and whimsical and I love it, and obviously I love anything piratey, so this is going on the list. Book number 20 is Dearly Departed by Chip Pons. It is coming out on June 16th. It says it's a Hades inspired gay rom-com in which the former god of the underworld turned grumpy funeral director must find a loophole in the immortality retirement act that banished him to earth until the florist next door, who sees life in full bloom, begins to unravel all his carefully laid plans. This sounds amazing. This sounds so cozy, romantic, fantastical, and it sounds like it would be hilarious as well. So here is the cover, which is absolutely gorgeous, and look at that artwork. Tell me you are not excited for this book. Okay guys, book number 20 is The Winter Folk by Jen Julian. This is coming out on July 21st. It says, a woman returns to the mysterious lodge in the woods where she once worked and to the inscrutable creature that bound her there. In the haunting Appalachian Gothic horror from Singular Voice, Jen Julian. Perfect for the fans of Alex E. Harrow and T. Kingfisher. Obviously, I love both of the authors. So obviously, I'm going to pick up an Gothic horror because I'm in my Gothic romance, Gothic horror era, and just look at the cover. Nothing screams Gothic more than this cover. It sounds wintry, it sounds cold, it sounds like a Gothic horror, and I'm so excited to read this book. Okay guys, now book number 21 is King of War by Sadie Kincaid. This is coming out on July 23rd. It says, Control the Horsemen, Control the Kingdom, a new dark romantasy series from Sadie Kincaid. I really like any books set with the 4 horsemen as their main character, so I'm obviously excited for this book, and it is a dark romantasy as well. Irrespective of the fact that we do not have a huge full blurb out yet, I am still excited to read this book. Now book number 22, We Were Never Here by Sophia Hanan. This is coming out on July 28th. It is a young adult lesbian queer horror paranormal fiction. That's what it says. The character in this cover kind of reminds me of Billie Eilish. So I love Billie Eilish. So I am picking this book up because this book cover reminds me of Billie Eilish. Does that make any sense? No. But we are still going to do that because the blurb looks amazing and the cover is gorgeous, and it is getting added to my 2026 anticipated or predicted 5-star reads list. Okay guys, book number 23, The Halls of the Dead by S.M. Hallow. It is coming out on August 18th. It is a queer Gothic horror romance set in necromancy-tinged London, sure to entrance fans of the death of the Jane Lawrence and Mexican Gothic. Are you guys seeing a pattern here? Gothic, romance, horror, dark romantasy, adult fantasy. We are going for that vibe for 2026, guys. Okay, so this cover is stunning. That's all I can say. Okay, this feels like the whole book has been summarized within this cover. That's how it feels. If you have not added this book to the list of books you have to read in 2026, please do so, because just look at the cover. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. The last book, we are finishing this list with the bang. Okay guys, the last book we have on this list is Scorpion Deep by C.G. Drews. Obviously this is coming out on 27th October. You know, obviously by this point anything C.G. Drews writes I am going to read and give it a 5 stars, a fucking 6 stars if I can. This book is automatically added to this list. This book weaves a disturbing and intoxicating serial call in Scorpion Deep about a lonely boy who accidentally awakens an obsessive eldritch sea god. Nothing can beat this pitch and this blur. And look at this cover, guys. Look at this gorgeous cover. Okay, this is a young adult queer horror gothic fantasy, and obviously I am going to eat this book up. Look at the sea foliage, sea plant ferns coming out of his mouth. And is that a octopus? We have octopus arms coming out, and it just looks gorgeous. Okay, just for the cover and just because C.G. Drews wrote this book, I'm going to read this book, and it is going to be the last book added to our 2026 releases that are my anticipated or predicted 5 stars reads. Guys, we have finally reached the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed all the books that I've talked about in this video, and you found a new book that you want to add to your TBR, or you found out new authors that you might want to check out, and that's the main end goal for any video that I'm going to be doing. Okay guys, it's a win-win situation, right? I get to talk about books that I'm excited about. You get to figure out and find out new books that can be added to your TBR as well. As if your TBR is not like a million miles long. Don't come at me, okay? I'm just doing the world a favor. Okay guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because you will be notified every time I post a new video. And I hope to see you guys very soon on my next Bookmas video. Bye guys.